Hey boys and girls, we have a miss at idle. Runs fine going down the road, but at idle it's shaking and missing. So it's time to change spark plugs. Now I already changed these on the left bank, which are real easy. There, and there. All you gotta do is take that bolt, pull the coil packs, pull the spark plugs out, no big deal, right? But look what you gotta do to get to the spark plugs on this side. This whole plenum has got to come off. Okay, and now we got these hot water lines. It's all got to come out. To get to, okay, these are the spark plugs we're going to use. You don't gap these, they come pre-gapped. And we want to torque them to 20 newtons or 15 foot-pounds. Most people actually over these that I took out were way over torqued. 15 foot-pounds is not much. Right there. It's crazy. The engineers that build this stuff, if they'd have just made a hole there, and a hole there, we wouldn't have to do this. So that's the project for the day. Now we're going to use these. When I pulled them out, we're gapping at almost 80 thousandths, which is about 90 thousandths. So they've worn away 30 thousandths of an inch. To start with, we need to take the breather off. So we're going to take these two hose clamps. We're going to pull this out. We're going to pull this off. Okay. Then we need to take the PVC line off here, and we're going to take these two water lines off here and here, and that will free that up. Then we have to take it loose. There's two electronic sensors on the back here. Those are going to be the hardest parts to get loose. We have a bracket right there we need to take loose, and we have 4 bolts here, and there. And then we have these inner bolts in through here. They are 2 different sizes, so you need to keep track of which one goes where. That right there, that right there. Some of them are going to be long, some of them are going to be short. Okay. Then we're going to have us a bracket right there we're going to have to take loose. And there's another one down in there, right back in here, that we're going to have to take loose. They do have a 7-year warranty, huh? Okay, there's 75,000 miles on this vehicle. So I wanted to show you the difference in a new plug and the plugs we're replacing. See the gap there? See the wire right there? It's almost completely gone on the old one. See the difference between the new plug and the old plug? I don't know if you can note the erosion. Come on, focus. See the wire's gone. See the difference in the anode and cathode. So it's time to replace them, when you say. Okay guys, if you don't have one of these, you need to get one. It's called a thumb ratchet, and this is an 8mm. You can put a 1/4 inch socket on it, but it's making short work of it. You just can't get a handle back in here, but once you get it broke loose, look at that. It's just big enough I can get in there and get it to spin. See that? Look at that. You can even ratchet it. They're not very expensive. Okay guys, here's a little tip when you're taking this line off here. If it hasn't been off in a while, it's going to be stuck. So you want to take a pair of pliers, squeeze these and pull it on down. And this goes up to that barb. You want to take one of the smallest screwdrivers you got and slide it down in here. So it's going to go inside this hose, and you want to try and not cut the inside of the hose, but you want to try and go all the way around till you feel it break. Not break, but break loose so it's no longer stuck, and you want to go all the way around. Then you can get on here and push this down. You cannot, this is going to be expensive. And if you see, this hose is attached to this top radiator hose. So this thing's going to be quite expensive. See that? So you don't want to tear it up. Now this one down below, you just get you a screwdriver and stick it there and wiggle it back and forth, wiggle it there and wiggle it there. And the bigger the hose is, the easier they are to break loose. This little one's probably, this one here you can leave on there. But what this does, this puts top radiator antifreeze through the throttle body there to keep these blades from icing up in the wintertime. And as you can see, this is drive-by-wire. There is no throttle linkage to turn those butterflies. It's all in this electronic unit right there. So now, about all we have left to do is we got to figure out how we are going to get these electric connections. I got 3 electrical connections back here that I got to figure out how to get them loose without breaking them. Oh, we do have one bolt right there. I got to figure out how to get to that one. I've already loosened these. Oh, and then we got a bracket. Okay guys, under this throttle body, there's a vacuum line right here. Okay, to remove that, you take your fingers and you push up on this black ring up under here. It's brass. There's a black ring. Think about a quick connect on your air hose. Okay, that's all you have to do. You push your finger, one on either side, push it up, and you lift this up, and that will fall right out. Do not pry on it. You're not going to be able to get it apart by prying on it. It is a quick connect right there. And you have to push up that little ring just like when you release an air hose, and it will pop right out. But do not pry on this, or you're going to be replacing this whole thing. And that line goes all the way to there, all the way around there to there. And you can't just take these apart. Okay, there you go. Couple little tips. This is the hidden bolt that I fought forever trying to get to. Had to take this wire loom loose here, but this wiring harness covers up this bolt right here, and that's what was holding the back of it on. And I took this brace off right here because I couldn't get it out without taking this off. There's a roll bar underneath of there, or torsion bar, whatever that's called. But anyways, so by taking this brace off right there, I was able to pull it out straight. So there's the brace I'm talking about. I like to stick all my bolts in paper because they're 2 different sizes. And those are the only 3 bolts that hold it on. When you torque these down, be very careful. Be very careful, because this is plastic with brass, and you can strip it out and ruin it, and you'll be replacing those. All right. And there's our injectors coming in. So we're going to replace all 6 of these gaskets. Here's the 3 wire connectors that you got to be a contortionist to get to. So you have this one, and This one, this one, this one, and this one. Okay. This here, I really don't understand. It's got to be a vacuum line or something, because it goes into the back of the Plenum. And to the brake booster, this line right here, this is another quick connect. Okay. This is what I'm talking about, quick connect. What you're gonna do is, all you have to do, have a fingernail, is you push your fingernails in this right here, this little ring, just like an air hose, and pull it at the same time. See how it's moving around there? And I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's moving around there. See that? So it just slides in there, but you can't get it out without breaking it unless you push this and pull the line at the same time. There's that main vacuum line going on there, and here's our three. It's where our three connections go on it. So we're going to clean this up real good. And so that hidden bolt is right there. This one right here is the one that you'll have the hardest trouble with. And here's that quick connect again on there. See how this moves around? I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's just like an air hose. I know you're getting tired of me saying that, but I don't take this hose off. There's no sense in it. So we only need to take those two hoses loose and that one. And we're going to clean her up. All this work to get to 3 spark plugs. There's our connections again, and they are a booger to get to. Let me tell you, I don't know what else to say. I don't know who makes, and this here makes absolutely no sense to me. Why this is even here. And you got to thread that Plenum underneath of it. I just, makes no sense. At this time, I wish I had some fuel injectors. I'd just change that rail out while I had it down like this. But we're going to get taken. So to take these coil packs off, it's pretty self-explanatory. Take this nut off right here, and you just snap this up. And if it's really being aggravating, contrary, put you a little tiny screwdriver right there and lift this up, and we're going to pull this coil pack, that coil pack, and then we're going to change spark plugs. Okay, there's the coil packs out. We got a little bit of valve cover damage there. We're going to vacuum that out. Then we're going to blow it. We're going to pull the spark plugs out. Okay, I know most people don't do it, but it says right there, "20 newtons, 15 foot-pounds. You got a torque wrench, why not use it? There's only 6 of them, and that way you know it is where it needs to be, and there's no sense in over-tightening them, and a lot of people over-tighten them. Okay guys, there you go. It went back together real easy. I bet you it didn't take an hour to get it back in there. Some advice: these back connectors, which are impossible to visualize, it's all by feel back there. So the advice I want to give you, there's 3 connectors, okay? The driver's side one, you push this little tab right here, and you'll feel it go click, and when you do that, you put your thumb on the edge right there and pull straight back, and it'll pop right off. You should feel a click, pop right off. It's at the bottom. The middle one, same thing. You're going to push that tab in, put your thumb, and pull back. Because about all you can get back in there is your index and your thumb. and you just push that little clip, put your thumb at the top of the connector, and pull straight back. Now this one must have taken me an hour to figure out. I even tried to put my camera back in there. I couldn't get it off for nothing, and that's because I was trying to push here like the other ones and put my thumb, and it just wouldn't come off. Well, come to find out, this one's tab you push is up at the top of the connector. You push down there, put your thumb, and then it'll pop right off. So the driver's side, the tab or the clip you're going to push in is at the bottom. The middle one's at the bottom one, and the passenger side is in the middle. You just push your finger there and it'll pop right off. Okay, the little nipple that sticks off, I guess it's a vacuum. You just push it right on there. It just pulls on and off. And the master cylinder, I showed you that. It's a quick connect. While I had it apart, I put new coil packs all around in there. And that's the number for them. And we also replaced the gaskets on the intake. This is the spark plug we used. We torqued to 20 foot-pounds, or 20 foot-pounds or 20 newtons. Okay, when you tighten these down, you don't want to tighten them all down at the same time. You want to go around and take them all down, because this is just brass inside of plastic. And if you over torque them, you'll actually strip it out and you will pull the brass up out of the plastic, and you will be buying new ones. Be careful with these vacuum lines, the hard plastic. They come undone real easy. If you know what you're doing, don't break them, and there's no telling what that's going to cost to replace them, especially the one to your brake booster, which goes in the center. To reinsert them, it just pushes back in there. All right, that just slides back on there for the PVC. Your coolant lines just push right back up in there. Okay, and that hidden bolt is under there, under that wire loom. And going to run and get us a new air filter, and we'll finish up. The tools that were used in this project for the spark plugs, any kind of ratchet. Most all the work was done with 1/4-inch ratchets. All we needed was an 8mm and a 10mm. The only reason I needed this 10 was I didn't have an extension to get this one, so if you use a deep well, that one will come out real easy. Okay, the thumb ratchet, I used that on that one right there because you couldn't get a ratchet in there to turn. You need a magnet because you're going to drop stuff down in there. Swivel, I needed a swivel for this bolt right there, because this was in the way and I was too lazy to take it off. If you took this cowling off, it would help you a lot. Taking this bracket off helped tremendously because I could not get it out because it was catching up there. If you take this bracket off right there, the whole thing comes out real easy. Like I said, the whole thing went back in less than an hour. It all just slides in, plug in, and you got what? You got 6 of these and 3 mounting bolts there, and there. Those are 8mm. I think these were 10. And your spark plug socket and a mirror up in there So there you go. And for our next project, ball joints. That's what I'm fixing to do right now. We're gonna need new ball joints put on this thing, which is amazing. It's only got 80,000 miles on it, and the ball joints are worn out. This old van, 200,000, still got the original ball joints. This thing's got 200,000 on it, original ball joints, no problem, nothing's loose. I did have to replace the ball joints on this Bronco at 120,000, I think it is. But you know, this thing goes through the woods, mudding and everything else, so you can understand the ball joints going out on it. A only street driven Jaguar, 80,000 miles, and the ball joints are shot and the front wheels are ready to fall off. Oh well, it is what it is. And these things were not cheap. I mean, you can't replace just the ball joint like the Bronco was 30 bucks for the ball joint. You can imagine what this control arm cost me in special order. But that'll be our next video.